Welcome to another episode of The Wave. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, Nick. How are you?
I'm very great.
Very great.
Yeah.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. What's made you so very great?
It's the weekend.
It is. Welcome to the weekend.
As we speak. Sorry, I'm not doing very well on the... not lining it up with the release date of
No,
this
because it's going to
episode.
come out on Monday and people don't want to hear
Not
about
the
it during
weekend.
the weekend.
Oh, God, Mondays. Jesus.
I've thrown him out because we were a day late recording this week, so we're all out of sync, aren't we?
That's fine. We'll roll with it.
Like the Oasis is.
Yeah, like them Oasis brothers. Yeah, good. I had I dropped my pen, but I'm good. I had nice time last weekend. Went walking.
Went walking?
Yeah.
Where did you walk to?
Around the Herefordshire countryside.
Sounds lovely.
It was really warm.
Yeah, it's weird how
Like,
it was warm last weekend and then the temperatures just plummeted
now it's winter,
since. Yeah,
so
now it's
forget about
winter
that.
all of a sudden.
But yeah, it was nice scenery.
Yeah.
Had to avoid some cows.
Always good. Don't want to get in tussles with cows.
No, one of them started
Mooing.
doing that thing with its feet.
Oh, really? Like a bull?
Yeah.
Like it's going to
We
charge
had
at you.
there was one point where we had to find a bit of an alternative route, but it was a good adventure.
How far did you walk?
14 miles or something like that.
Blimey, O'Reilly, really?
Yeah.
God, I don't think I've ever walked that in total in my life. I'm not the most exercisey of people.
Yeah, it was really good.
Good.
Halfway
Enjoyed
around,
it.
found a pub, had the most wonderful Coke I've ever had. Halfway through that.
Nice.
Yeah. And just a night in a hotel. It was really good.
Sounds
I enjoyed
lovely.
myself.
Any-
How about you?
No, I've not done anything really.
Okay.
I've got boring life. What have I done? I don't think I've done anything this week. It's been a bit of a crazy time lately.
Yeah, sure.
But no, I haven't really. I've not...
That's
You're
fine.
okay though.
You're allowed.
Your
Yeah,
mic's at a very precarious angle. Looks like it's about
I feel like I've not found my optimum position for this episode yet.
Before we start the episode, shall we do this thing we're going to do?
Oh, yeah.
So, have you heard about the Iron Brew was in the news in the week?
Oh, wow.
I'm going to just talk.
No.
That's come out of nowhere for these listeners. For us, that makes sense. You know how petrol's been short?
Sure.
Iron Brew's apparently next.
Really?
Yeah, Scotland's going to run out of Iron Brew. And that's going to have
a true
It's a crisis.
problem.
It's a crisis. So, the country needs to find some alternative sources to get their Iron Brew.
I think we should just tell international listeners what Iron Brew is.
I don't know what Iron Brew is.
It's a soft drink.
It's my favourite fizzy drink. But I don't know.
Like orange, but it doesn't taste of orange.
No, I don't even know what flavour it is. It's they used to say it was made of girders.
Yeah.
In the advert.
Iron.
Yeah. If you can, I don't know if you can get it in the States. I assume so.
Possibly, I don't know.
Probably in one of the. Do they have British food stores like we have American food stores?
Like American candy.
Yeah. Do they have British candy over there? Let us know if you're over in the States. Let us know. But anyway, we're going to run out of Iron Brew.
Okay.
So the country needs to find an alternate source for Iron Brew. So we have come across some biscuits that appear to be Iron Brew flavoured.
I think it's shortbread, isn't it?
It's shortbread.
It's basically like a big jammy dodger.
Yeah.
Instead of having jam in the middle, it is Iron Brew jam.
Iron Brew jam. So we're going to try these live on the show. Neither of us have tried these before. I'm going to rustle the pack for a minute, so excuse the sound. And we're going to have one. Would you like to take one?
Sure, thanks.
So it's shortbread with an Iron Brew jam in the middle.
What about the bouquet?
Oh, it does smell like Iron Brew.
Oh, I'm just getting shortbread.
Yeah, it also just smells of shortbread. We're going to cheers them.
Dink it.
Cheers.
Oh, man.
It's like ASMR. And you go full thing. You fat bastard. I'm just getting shortbread. I might cut this whole section out, but we're going to be really claggy now as well.
I know.
I can't taste a single piece of Iron Brew in that.
I'm aware there's jam in it.
Yeah.
It doesn't really taste of Iron Brew.
I just tried to take a bit of jam out and it's basically just a picture. The jam itself tastes of Iron Brew, there just isn't enough of it in the biscuit.
I made the mistake, just ate the biscuit and then just got biscuit. We should have we'll get some straws and we'll suck out the jam.
Yeah, or a spoon. Probably easier.
Okay, fine.
Sucking jam up a straw is going to be difficult. Excuse me while I have a drink.
A cool party game.
Yeah, they're
Apologies for everyone listening on earphones who's just heard.
Yeah, that was
chewing.
wrong. Sorry, they were mightily disappointing. That was a bit of a letdown. But anyway, yeah, you can get Iron Brew biscuits. All right, should we start the wave?
Yeah, let's do it.
bit random. We like to try things new, don't we? We should say this is the season finale week of Bottom of the Stream.
Oh, it is. Of course it is.
It is. This is the season finale of The Wave, season finale of the movie show on Thursday.
Season 5 almost wrapped up.
Yeah, we're heading into season 6. The odd number seasons are better.
Are they?
Yep. No, the even numbered seasons are better.
As in quality of movie?
No, because you get your Halloween special and
Sure.
you get your Christmas special in the even numbers.
Good thinking.
So you don't get anything like that in the odd number seasons. They're just straight through, but you get your special months. And the Halloween special is going to come early this season.
Oh, it will be.
It'll be like
right
second or third episode.
Yeah, true.
We're having a week off at some point.
You're flying all over the map here.
Sorry, I am. I'm on high and brew high. So after this week, next week there'll be one episode of the show.
Sure.
Which will be a season 5 recap episode. We're not sure if we're going to release that on the Monday or the Thursday yet. We'll figure that out, but at some point we'll let you know.
Yes.
And then following the week after that, we have a week off. And then we'll return the week after that for season 6.
Boom.
That's our plan.
This Thursday is the finale of, as Ad says, the movie show. And what are we talking about?
We're talking about a Chilean film.
Lovely.
From Chile. It's called Nobody Knows I'm Here. It's from last year and it stars Jorge Garcia.
Yeah.
Jorge Garcia is nearly 50 years old. Blew my mind.
Yeah, he's looking good for
It does look great.
almost 50 years
Just
old.
considering to be like the young guy from Lost. And he's not. He's like an old guy now. He's only 48. I'm doing him a disservice, but he's nearly 50. But no, we won't give any clues away on here, but that will be the finale, which will be out on Thursday. And I'm looking forward to talking to you about it.
That will be it. That will complete the stream table.
It will. It will.
For the season.
It's going to be an interesting time ahead. And then we'll move on to season 6 and we'll start all over again.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Right. Shall we do some Netflix news?
Let's talk news.
Do you want to do these stats first? I found some stats.
Yeah, go. Stat me up. My socks.
Oh, my internet's gone off again.
Ah.
Your socks come off?
Yeah, your internet's gone off. My socks come off.
I'm having internet issues this week, so apologies if this takes longer than it normally would. I've got some stats on the most popular Netflix movies and shows of all time.
Lovely.
Because CEO, what's his name? Company's chief, Ted Sarandon, did a video call type update.
Sure.
And it's made them a bit more forthcoming about their viewing figures.
Ah, so we're not just counting that first 2 minutes.
We are just counting 2 minutes.
Okay.
So Netflix have confirmed in this call that 2 minutes counts as a view. So it's not like 70 seconds or anything like that. It's 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it works out well for the Irishman, as I think we've said before.
Yeah, exactly. The interesting fact, the first stat I read in this stat article is that just 3% of Netflix most watched content is produced by Netflix.
Oh.
That's crazy, isn't
That's very small, yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought it'd be a lot higher than that. Even though the companies give their original content more prominent placement on the platform's interface, which is true, they do. So the all-time most popular Netflix films. Number 1, should we go from number 1 or should we go from number 10?
You've got to go 10 to 1.
10 to 1. Fatherhood is at number 10.
Not seen it.
Normie, is that the one with... No.
Kevin Hart?
Kevin Hart?
Yeah.
That's the one I was
fairly
thinking.
recent.
Yeah, it is. 74 million accounts
watched
at least 2 minutes of that film on the show's first 28 days on the platform.
Oh, nice.
So all these, they only count the first 28 days of release.
Sure, so first month, basically.
Yeah, after that, the viewing figures don't count anymore. Army of the Dead is after that, joint with Project Power. They've both had 75 million.
So I saw Army of the Dead within that timeline. I have seen Project Power, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't in its first month.
I haven't seen Project Power. I did see Army of the Dead within its first month, though, unfortunately. Followed by Enola Holmes, who had 77 million. I think that's quite high. I don't think they put any advertising behind that. It just seemed to come out and it was there, but it did really well.
It did do really well. I don't think they threw their full...
They didn't.
Promotional weight behind it.
They really didn't. Followed by The Old Guard at 78 million.
Yep.
Murder Mystery at 83 million. Is tied with Six Underground, also at 83 million. And the top 3 are Spencer Confidential on 85 million accounts, Bird Box on 89 million accounts, and then Extraction had 99 million accounts.
Wow.
So it wins, and it wins by 10 million. And the whole rest of the table's only separated by 15 million.
So 99 million accounts watched Extraction, or at least 2 minutes
of Extraction.
And there's only 193 million accounts in existence.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's over half. It's crazy, isn't it?
I've not seen it.
I've seen it. It's all right. The sequel's just been announced, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
But it's all right. I wouldn't have thought it was like the best thing ever. but it is apparently. This is interesting though. The next stat is Netflix's most viewed films by length. So the amount of time people have spent watching these films.
Okay.
And Bird Box wins that by a lot. I'm not going to go through that. They're pretty much all the same films. The Irishman gets in there because it's longer. But Extraction has had 231 million hours of viewing.
Okay.
And Bird Box has had 282 million hours.
Interesting.
So
more repeat views.
More repeat views or less turn-offs.
Yes.
Because you've got to remember that you can turn off after 2 minutes. So whilst Extraction's had the most accounts try to watch it, Bird Box appears to have had the most accounts that completed watching it. Yeah. I thought it was quite interesting. Then we moved on to TV shows. So top 10 TV shows, same stats, first at least 2 minutes of an episode.
Sure.
Emily in Paris season 1, Sweet Tooth season 1. The Queen, Emily in Paris, had 58, Sweet Tooth had 60. Queen's Gambit 62, Tiger King 64. I thought that would be higher. I thought everybody watched Tiger King.
I mean, you'd have been led to believe that again from the promotion.
Yeah, exactly. Money Heist Part 4, 65 million views. 65 million accounts, sorry. Stranger Things Series 3, 67 million accounts. Sex Life Season 1, that's just been renewed as well. 67 million accounts. The Witcher Season 1 is in the top 3. Lupin Part 1, both had 76 million.
Mm-hmm.
And Bridgerton Season 1 has had 82 million.
Okay.
So people go for the top one a lot more than they go for the second one. It's crazy how far away the top one gets. And Bridgerton also wins total viewing hours at 625 million hours. How many days is 625 million hours?
Many
days. Beats Money Heist. Why can't I say Heist tonight?
I have no idea.
Money Heist Part 4, which is 619 million hours. And then Stranger Things Part 3, 582 million hours. So Bridgerton is a highly successful show.
Yeah, just a bit.
Although industry sources are telling me that it's about to be beaten.
Well, yeah, this is the hot rumour, isn't it?
Yeah, they're apparently...
out of nowhere.
Completely out of nowhere. Netflix are telling us, Netflix are actually telling us that Squid Game is on course to beat Bridgerton in both of those stats.
That's bonkers.
It's bonkers. It's a Korean... I've not seen any. I know we're probably jumping about here. I know you've seen a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about... Shall we do that first?
Yeah, why not?
Talk about that first.
I've watched the first 3 episodes.
Okay.
I thought, this sounds very much like that show we watched earlier this season.
Alice in Borderland.
Alice in Borderland.
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought.
And it pretty much is.
Right.
So it's a bit, it skews a bit older. So your protagonist is an older guy.
Okay.
Trying to look after his family. It's not a teen trio.
Thing. Okay.
But essentially, it's pretty much the same premise.
Right.
So people are taken away to a place and they have to play games and survive.
Oh, so it is exactly the same premise.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's much more character based than Alice in Borderland.
Right.
There's not. So in the first 3 episodes, there's only 2 games.
Right.
And the middle episode is like, it's all character development. You get to know sort of all the
Which
key
is
players.
one thing we accused Alice in Borderland of not doing.
Yeah. So far, the games aren't great in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got to say.
Interesting.
I will sit through.
I'm going to do it.
What I find most intriguing is how this catches on.
Yeah.
How does this catch the zeitgeist?
Why has it caught the zeitgeist? Because people at work are talking about this.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's a Korean TV show that you wouldn't think of. Like Alice in Borderland never got big.
No.
So why is this? Is it the name and the funky poster? Is that all that's drawing people in?
People seeing like the big doll from the first episode,
Yeah.
and that seems to have. Oh, what's that?
What's that? I'll try that. Squid Game. That's an unusual name for a TV show, but Netflix are telling us that it's going to beat Bridgerton, which is huge.
And they've not planned that.
No, of course they haven't. They've not put any mark. I haven't seen any mark. There's no advertising for it. There's no billboards for it or anything anywhere. And it's not like it's being advertised on sides of buses and stuff like Bridgerton was. It was everywhere. This is just going to, for some reason, Netflix have it every so often. Like with Tiger King, it just hits. Something just hits the zeitgeist.
Word of mouth,
and it just goes, and it's crazy how it seems to be at random of what goes and what doesn't.
Yeah, I couldn't put my finger on it. Like I say, I've only seen 3 episodes, so I'll
it's next on my list
when I see the rest. But
I'm in the middle of watching Kevin Can Fuck Himself on Amazon Prime.
Sure.
So I've got 4 of them left. So as soon as I finish that, which will be this weekend,
I'm not saying it's bad by any means, but I am at the minute. I'm a little bit. What's the fuss about?
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. It is interesting, isn't it? How things kick off like Anyway, let's move on to some news, shall we?
No problemo.
I was going to say, no, I don't want to.
Talking of Squid Game,
Okay. Stick with it.
South Korea,
Yep.
obviously from whence this series originates.
Yeah.
And also, just before I go on to this news, if you're a patron and you read this month's newsletter,
Yep.
there's a whole section on upcoming Korean content coming to Netflix. Because Squid Game is very much just the first salvo in a huge investment
There's
that
a lot
Netflix
of stuff
have
coming.
made.
I read your newsletter,
Yes.
and I thought all of those shows that you described sound really good. All of them. There's a lot of good Korean stuff coming.
So something maybe the next Squid Game.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
equally, they may disappear without a trace.
They
Who
may end
knows?
up on the extension of the rods at some point.
Who knows? Anyway, back to the news. SK Broadband, which is a South Korean internet service provider,
Yep.
are suing Netflix
Okay.
because they say they want Netflix to pay some of the costs because of the increased network traffic and subsequent maintenance work they've had to do to their network because of Squid Game.
That's crazy. So Squid Game's broken the internet. Quite literally.
In South
broken
Korea,
the
yeah.
internet in South
Yeah.
Korea. And now the South Korean internet want Netflix to pay for that.
A court in Seoul said that Netflix should reasonably give something in return to the provider for network usage.
Surely it gives them more customers.
They're saying that because the content providers do not pay for network usage despite generating explosive traffic.
Yeah, but also, if it wasn't for the content providers, people wouldn't buy the internet.
Exactly.
So it swings and roundabouts. They're giving you customers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though, isn't it? I wonder how that'll end up.
Yeah, that will be interesting. So it does say that Amazon, Apple, Facebook do all make contributions.
Oh, okay. Now that's different.
YouTube and Netflix do not currently.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that YouTube doesn't, if all those others do, seems...
You'd think YouTube would use a lot more traffic than even Netflix.
Yeah.
You think YouTube would be like number one for traffic, surely. Especially, definitely more than Amazon, Apple, and Facebook. Probably put together.
Yeah, Squid Game's breaking the internet. There you go.
Squid
Games.
Games.
We are going to be fast becoming an actual games podcast
We might be.
because only a few weeks ago, Netflix were sort of saying, we're going to do some games.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks ago, we said, oh, Netflix have secretly released a game.
That was last week.
Well, guess what now?
What?
Netflix have bought a video game studio,
Okay.
Night School Studio.
Yeah.
Not only have they bought a studio, they have already rolled out 5 mobile games
Wow.
in
This
select
is going
European
at a pace.
countries. Night School Studio is best known for a game called Oxenfree. I am not familiar with it. It says it is a supernatural teen thriller with an eerie soundtrack. Yeah, so the games that Netflix have already released.
Yep.
Stranger Things 1984,
Okay.
Stranger Things 3, the game, Card Blast, Teeter Up, and Shooting Hoops
Ah.
have all been released to Android
I said they're mobile games.
in Spain and in Italy. They are coming to Poland soon. So it is a
Interesting.
bit of a trial,
It's trialing, but it seems to be happening fast, doesn't it?
very fast.
It really does. Remember, they released that VR game?
Yeah.
And I said I'd try it out.
Yes.
I tried it out.
And?
It's all right.
Okay.
It's not a game. It's
Right.
it's an experience. If anything, it lasts for 5 minutes.
Sure. This is a demo.
So it is, yeah. What was it called? Eden on Earth.
Yeah.
So I've not seen the show that it's based on, which is called Eden, but the premise of the show is that robots now run the world, and they're self-subsidizing the Earth. They look after themselves,
Okay.
and they make the Earth look after themselves. So the basics of the game is you get put on this little bike, and you just drive it around watching these robots pick apples.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. It's really well made. It's a really good-looking game.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do. You literally just drive around. And then when you get to the end of the course, it says, right, you can just keep driving now if you want.
Okay.
And I presume it's procedurally generated because it just goes on forever.
Right.
But yeah, you're just driving this little bike around.
Nice.
It's a good little experience. I think it's just a test of it's a hardware test, I think, just to see what they can do. But it handles really nicely, and you have to pick up a little counter thing, and that tells you what's going on around you and
Okay.
explains the scenes that are happening, and tells you about the robots and stuff. Yeah, it only lasts about 10 minutes, but I thought it was quite good. I was impressed with the quality of the graphics.
It just shows they're moving apace, and this has obviously been something that's been going on in the background for quite some time.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. Netflix gaming. Keep your eye on it. It's coming soon.
More games.
More Netflix games. We are becoming a game podcast.
Netflix has announced it is releasing game as a companion to the movie Kate.
Okay, yeah, that came out a few weeks ago.
Kate Collateral Damage is a video game spin-off of the movie, and it is released on Steam for PC on October the 22nd.
That's pretty soon.
Yeah. So you're on your quest for revenge against the Yakuza, but again, the movie was out, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
Game's out in 3 weeks.
I haven't got to Kate yet, but it does look quite good.
No, me neither. But this has got a sort of anime style to it by the couple of screenshots.
Yeah, it looks like an RPG, doesn't it?
But yeah, like I say, full steam ahead. Games coming out of every orifice.
More games than films at this rate.
A couple of big pieces of news which came just a bit too late to be included last week in the way.
Yeah, one of them happened as we finished recording.
I got home and this one was announced. And that is that Netflix have spent 700 million of your American dollars, which is around 500 to 600 million of your English pounds. And they've bought the whole estate of Roald Dahl.
Yeah, I saw this. This is crazy.
Lock, stock and barrel.
This is absolutely mad. So they now own everything that he ever wrote.
Yeah.
They brought his entire estate.
Yeah. We're not just talking rights for a period of time. They
own it. Yeah. It's theirs. So expect a slew of Netflix Roald Dahl content because they've got to get that money back. So I presume all their books now, they're going to make the money on all the book sales, everything.
Yeah. All their Roald Dahl week at school will be sponsored by Netflix.
Netflix, yeah. So they've even got some in the works already, haven't they?
Yes. Taika Waititi's working on an animated
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, or something, a series based on...
It's in that universe, isn't it? I think
Charlie
it's a prequel. I think he's going Oompa Loompa origin story.
Right, okay.
I think. And then somebody else was working on a Matilda. Was it Matilda?
So they're doing... So it's a movie version of Matilda the Musical.
Okay. So it's not just a recording of Matilda the Musical. It's an actual making
the
of
movie version of it, yeah.
And Emma Thompson's going to be in it, I believe.
Yeah. That's a fantastic musical. I've seen it.
I haven't seen it. I've always wanted
you'd love it.
I've always wanted. I love Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
I'm really excited by this news. Like super excited. But yeah, I've always wanted to watch Matilda, but it's just never happened for me. But there's loads. There's a whole well of stuff you can go. You can even go from some of his adult stuff.
Yeah. Because
I've got a book of Roald Dahl's more adult poems and stories, and some of them are fantastic, and they're well worth checking out. So yeah, there's a whole well of stuff you can go to with Roald Dahl. You can even tell his story. Somebody will make a film about him because he had a crazy life, like shagging his way around the world during the war and that sort of thing.
Did he go on holiday with Ian Fleming and they were just...
Lee, the three of them just shagged their way around Europe. Crazy. I'm excited by that. I'm really excited by it.
The other big bit of news which dropped not long after we'd finished last week.
This was well enough because this was literally an hour after we finished recording.
Was the announcement that Tiger King is coming back for a second series.
Yeah, it is. This is a cash grab.
I mean,
this is 100% a cash grab.
Isn't it just going to be...
There's no more story there.
People on Zoom calls?
Yeah, surely. It'll be Carol Baskin being interviewed by somebody.
She said she's not doing it.
So she's not doing it at all?
That's what she said.
I have no idea then. I have no idea what it's going to be. One of the guys died, didn't he? The zookeeper guy.
Yeah, just recently.
I don't know, because they've already done the whole Tiger King Zoom call thing with Joel McHale, didn't they? I have no idea what this is going to be, but they're really bigging it up. They were saying it's more shocking than the first season. How can it be? He's been in prison the whole time. I just don't understand what's going on.
I struggle with this, to be honest. I struggle to get much of a boner on for this second series.
I always knew they'd go back to the well of Tiger King at some point. I was not expecting a season 2 though.
No.
I was expecting something along something different from them. But it was obvious they were always going to go back. But what's left to tell?
I could see this being a bit of a damp squib.
Just as much mayhem and madness as season 1, they're saying, Netflix are saying, which seems a high bar.
Can I ask for a refund if I feel it's less mayhem and madness?
There's the picture is the picture is of Joe Exotic in prison on the phone. So surely they've not been given access to him, have they? Maybe. I
don't know. Enough of a brown envelope full of cash. And
is it all going to be about him wanting to get out of prison and then Donald Trump not letting him out on his last day? Yeah. That story's been told as well. Everybody knows that story. I don't know. When's it coming? Soon, isn't it?
This year.
Yeah, it is coming
before the end of the year.
Yeah, just as later this year. No, I'm not sure. I feel like that's a cash grab and they're just going to try and get as much out of that as they can.
Do you want a bit of news with no news in it?
Yep.
I think it's intriguing though.
Okay.
So, Bridgerton's own Regé-Jean Page has signed up for a Netflix movie.
Okay.
Which will be written and directed by Noah Hawley, he who was the showrunner and creator of the Fargo TV show,
Oh, excellent.
Legion,
Yep.
and an upcoming Alien TV show set in that universe.
Oh, right. Okay. I didn't even know what was happening.
He is taking on an as yet untitled heist movie.
Ooh.
Plot details are being kept under wraps, probably because he's not written it yet. But Noah Hawley will be directing, writing, and producing.
Appears the Russo brothers are involved as well.
They are also producing. So, yeah, obviously a long way away, but...
So there really is no news there, other than...
Well, they've signed on the dotted line.
Reggie Jean Page has signed up to do a heist.
And he's obviously a very much a name in the... he's everywhere at the minute, isn't he? And I've liked Noah Hawley's stuff in the past, so I just wanted to point that out, because I thought that looked like... Could be a good partner.
Well, the Russo brothers company made Extraction, didn't they? Which we were just talking about. So big boots to fill. It's going to be a long wave. Where are we now? This one?
Yes. There's loads of gaps you can cut out.
I might just cut the whole Ironbury biscuit thing out. That was weird.
Netflix also loves its animation.
It does.
They have announced, also coming on October the 22nd, is they're calling it an animated event. I don't know why you can't just call it a movie.
Yeah.
A trailer has just come out for Maya and the Three, an epic adventure in a Mesoamerican inspired fantasy world.
Ooh.
It is directed by Jorge R. Gutierrez.
Okay.
He directed The Book of Life, which is a very good animated movie from a few years ago.
Right. I'm not seeing
it kind of went a bit under the radar because it's a similar sort of. It's kind of a bit similar to Coco.
Right. No,
But it's not. It's just set in a similar sort of world.
Got you.
But that's a good movie. This movie is about a warrior princess named Maya. She's played by Zoe Saldana, who embarks on a quest to fulfill a prophecy and joins up with three outcasts in order to save the world. Played by Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Alan Maldonado, and Gabriel Iglesias.
Nice. Any relation to Julio?
I have no idea. Also stars Diego Luna, Danny Trejo, Cheech Marin, Rosie Perez, Wyclef Jean, and Rita Moreno.
Cheech Marin and Wycliffe Jean are a strange combination of names in there.
I bet they had a good time if they met whilst voicing
I
this.
can barely remember any of it.
Hotboxing in the recording studio.
The story will be told in 9 chapters. So maybe it is an event. Maybe it's going to be like 8 hours long. It seems like it's going to be massive. Good
Excellent.
cast, though.
Yeah.
Looks good. The animation style's nice as well, isn't it? Surprised The Rock's not in it.
It just does everything. Do you know Jason Statham?
Not personally, but I know who he is.
Do you know Guy Ritchie?
Unfortunately, yes, I did.
Their latest movie,
Yeah.
which they have done together,
Yeah.
is called Wrath of Man. That sounds like a really generic
Yeah.
Jason Statham action movie
It's an
title.
awful title.
It is skipping a cinema release and is coming
surprise.
straight to Amazon Prime.
Okay. So Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
What's going on with his hands in that picture? It's like a zombie.
Jason Statham plays a quiet, keeps his head down, quiet man earning a living.
Yep.
Until he and his partner become targets of an attempted robbery, and he has to reveal his formidable skills. Because actually, he's an expert marksman, and he's great at hand-to-hand combat.
I've seen this film earlier this year. It's
Like-
called Nobody, and Bob Odenkirk's in it, and it's brilliant. And it's exactly the same synopsis.
And there's a massive spoiler in this article, and I'm going to read it out because I think it's really funny. Turns out that Jason Statham character is an undercover crime boss, and he's desperately seeking revenge for the murder of his son. So there you go. You don't need to watch it.
Don't need to watch it now. Just watch Nobody instead. It's much better. I like that poster. That's a good poster.
It's just
Jason Statham with some bloody hands, but it's cool. But then all the rest of him, he just looks like that could be that picture there. It's of Jason Statham.
It's some vehicle
sitting on a plane or something.
Yeah,
it looks like it could be taken out of any single one of the films that he's ever made.
Yeah, but because he doesn't really age, because he's not, because he looks like a
action man.
Well, like a really hard boiled egg. But not one that I'd mess with. He doesn't age particularly, does he?
I think you just did mess with him. If he hears that, I think you just messed with him. You just called him a really hard-boiled egg. You can have beef with Jason Statham.
He's kind of a bit ageless, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
That could be. You're right. It could be any film that he's done in the last 20 years.
Yeah, looks exactly like every film he's ever made. But yeah, watch Nobody. It's much better. This one,
Scream,
Scream,
the movie.
Yeah. Oh, one of my favourites.
Right, 25 years old.
It is.
In like next week or the week after.
Showing it in the cinema. I've got to turn my ad blocker off to get on this one.
Okay.
Right, apologies.
It's fine. If you want to,
Yep.
you can't.
Oh.
Right? But if you lived in America,
Yeah.
because you have to be a resident of the United States,
Oh, no way. I
for
just read that. Sorry.
Halloween weekend,
Yeah.
you are able to stay in Stu's house from the end of Scream.
Oh, that's amazing. That would be the best.
It's only like $5.
Really?
Yeah, obviously there's going to be like millions of applicants, so
Yeah.
it's going to be really tricky to do it. But yeah, it's they're teaming up with Airbnb as a promotional event for the, like I say, the 25th anniversary of Scream, and you can go and stay in the house. But not only are you staying in a house,
Yeah.
guess who gives you a tour?
Who?
David Arquette.
Amazing.
You get the run of the house for the night. They say that there's knife marks on the door. They've sort of pimped it up
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been 25 years ago since they filmed
to
it.
be in the sort of condition from the end of the movie. You'll have a movie marathon featuring all 4 Scream films, a dedicated phone line so you can speak to Ghostface.
Amazing.
Loads of snacks and all the memorabilia that is included. So
That's like my ideal Halloween. I would love to do that.
you got to live in the States.
I know. What a shame.
Probably in California because it's a long way to go. Yeah, David Arquette, welcome to my place.
I recognise that house. As soon as I saw the picture, I recognised it. It's crazy. I love Scream. It's brilliant. It's one of my favourite films. In fact, I really like all 4 of them.
I've never seen the 4th.
They've got their issues, but they're all good. People shit on Scream 3 because it's unrealistic. But it is unrealistic. But it's still good. It's a third in a horror film trilogy. It's going to be unrealistic, isn't it?
The only other thing I wanted to mention is, as part of the Tudum event last week, it was announced that Sex Education has been renewed for season 4.
Was always going to happen.
As we were not quite sure about that last week.
No.
I
think that'll be it.
I feel like
the story's done after that. I feel like the story's done now, to be fair. But I feel like they'll be too old. They're all nearly 30.
Yeah.
They're playing high school kids.
I noticed it more in this season 3, where there was a few lines where they were like, remember, we're only 17.
Yeah.
It was really shoehorned in there a bit.
They should have just had all birthday badges on at all points. Some of them are like 28, 29 years old. You can't just keep doing it, can you? I mean, I know this show's timeless and locationless, but
people still
age,
unless you're Jason Statham.
Yeah.
But he's not going to turn up.
Or
in
Gillian
Sex
Anderson.
Education.
She's aging backwards.
Do you think?
Yeah, she looks prettier now than she did back in the X-Files days. Is that it? Is that all your Netflix news?
Yes.
I've got a list.
Brilliant.
It's the start of the month, isn't it? So, do you want to know what's coming in October?
Would love to.
Some of it, obviously, we're a little bit into October, so some of it's already going to be here. But things like Dawn of the Dead, Fight Club, coming on the 1st of October. The first 5 films of the Halloween franchise are all coming, or will now be here.
I don't know if I have seen any of those apart from the first one.
I've seen the first 3, I think.
I quite fancy doing that.
Do it. There's 3 different Halloween timelines you can follow now if you want to. So this is the first one. So Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, which doesn't really follow on from any of it. Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers are all dropping on Netflix today as we're recording, so they'll all be there when this episode comes out.
It's got its own like multiverse now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got 3 different timelines going on.
Heat, that's an all-timer.
If
you're into crime thrillers, you must have seen Heat.
Yeah. Jumper with Hayden Christensen, that's decent.
Yeah, okay.
We're not talking about Piers Morgan, we'll forget that he exists. Marley and Me.
Oh my word, no.
Saving Private Ryan. I think the big one of today is that Seinfeld season 1 to 9 has dropped on Netflix finally.
I think I'm going to try and do it.
Really?
Yeah, because
that's a big undertaking.
I feel like it's just going to be a... Netflix has spent so much on it. It's not going anywhere soon.
No,
it's just kind of a 20-minute fill-in. I've seen a lot of Seinfeld, but I've never... It was always in
never
odd
in order.
episodes.
Yeah, same.
So, because it was on like... Well, it was a bit before when I was too young.
Yeah.
And it was on at like 11,
Stupid
12 o'clock at night. Yeah. So, I do quite fancy doing it.
Do it.
Okay.
We'll do a feature on it.
All
right. Shaun of the Dead dropped today. Shutter Island has dropped today. I never liked the Shutter Island film. The book's one of the best I've ever read, but
Great book.
It's not very
Yeah, not so keen.
Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, they've all dropped today.
Okay.
The Green Mile, another great film. That's on for fucking ages, though. The Haunting.
The Guilty has come out today. That's Jake Gyllenhaal's new thriller.
Yeah.
It's Netflix made.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Say Gyllenhaal or Gyllenhaal?
I'd say Gyllenhaal, but
What's right?
I don't know.
Me neither.
Fair enough. Bad Hair's coming. That's coming on the 5th of October. This is a horror movie about a woman whose weave attack starts.
Oh, brilliant.
So that's coming.
I'm in.
I'm hoping that drops to the bottom of the stream so we can
Yes.
talk about it one day. Love is Blind Brazil is coming. Pokemon the movie, Secrets of the Jungle. Pretty smart. The one I'm most excited about, on October the 8th, The Lighthouse is coming.
Oh, yes, me too.
I really, really want to watch
Yeah.
that, and I've never had the opportunity yet, so I'm really excited that that's coming.
R. Patz and William Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe, yeah. Shazam. Shazam's coming. That's really good. Have you seen that?
Yes, I saw that. It's a good movie.
It is good. Bright Samurai Sword. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago,
yeah.
didn't we? This anime spin-off of Bright, Netflix's 2017 flop.
Movies that made us.
Season 3.
October the 12th.
They were all horror films, weren't they?
Yeah.
Except for one. Wasn't one like Coming to America?
It was indeed.
And the rest of them were Halloween movies. That was jumping out, eh? Spider-Man 3's then coming a little bit later in the month.
Third season of You
Oh, of course, yeah, that's the big one.
is October the 15th.
You is a great TV show, so I'll be watching that. Last Christmas is coming back. The Christmas movies are starting to appear. Margaret Thatcher, The Iron Lady, a documentary about Margaret Thatcher is coming.
God.
Night Teeth. This is the one we've talked about. Night Teeth a few times on the show. This is about the potentially vampiric taxi driver who picks up 2 women on the way home. But apparently it's really good. It's rating really well.
Were you watching Sex, Love and Goop?
What is that?
It's Gwyneth Paltrow's reality TV show.
No.
Because Goop is her company, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Who make the like vagina candles.
Oh, okay. Goop is not a good word to put with Sex, Love and Goop, is it? Lock and Key Season 2 is coming on the 22nd of October.
Sure.
It's a big month, October. There's a lot of good stuff coming.
Inside Job is coming as well. That's a new animated series which you can read about in the newsletter if you join our Patreon.
Join our Patreon, read our newsletter. And then October the 29th, Army of Thieves is coming.
Sure.
Is it me, or have they turned that around really quickly? Or did they just was it already in the making before?
I think they basically banked on Army of the Dead working. Or it might have been a bit Zack Snyder going, you want me to do this Army of the Dead movie? Well, I want to do this as well.
Yeah.
Because it was already in production.
It must have been, because it's turned around so quick. That's it. They're the big things that are coming in October. So we've got a good month there. I think
Yeah.
pretty
loaded.
Pretty loaded month. I'm excited. Loads of good stuff. What do you want to do next? Do you want to extend the rods, or do you want to talk about what we've watched?
Let's extend our rods.
Yeah.
And then end with what we've watched.
Okay, sounds good. So there's an Alexa in another room talking, and I don't know what she said. Apologies. Hopefully there's nobody else here. What is going on?
I don't know. I can't tell what she's saying because I've got my headphones on.
Weird. My house is haunted. My house is haunted. I've got a plant in my bedroom that just fell over in the middle of the night. The other night. That happens all the time in this house. Okay, yeah, so extending the rods. Let's extend them. We did a one-off this week.
We did.
So we finished The Island last week. And we didn't want to start a new...
We will never speak of it again.
We shall not. And we didn't want to start a new show until season 6 started, so we needed a one-off rod extension. So we picked a 34-minute TV show.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what it was. And it's called Frankenstein's Monsters, Monster Frankenstein.
Indeed.
It stars David Harbour.
It's an extended sketch, isn't it?
It's a sketch show. It's a one-off 30-minute sketch.
Yeah.
It seems like ages since I watched this now, because I watched it at the weekend, last weekend.
Okay.
So you might have to talk me through it.
Fine.
But essentially, it's like you say, it's a comedy skit about Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster.
Kind of. I
Just
mean, it's actually
switching roles.
David Harbour
Yeah.
from Stranger Things plays Hopper.
Yeah.
Plays himself.
Yes, he does.
Investigating his father, David Harbour II.
Yeah, I think so. And then his grandfather as well.
Yeah. And how he was this sort of frustrated artist.
Yeah.
Who made this play and sort of finding out about his father's history as well. But it's very...
Was it set in like the early 90s? It wasn't long ago, was it? It was...
I think it was more an 80s vibe.
Was it 80s? Okay.
But it was very much a sort of wobbly sets. The doors wouldn't shut.
Do you know what it was? It was Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
Very much so, yeah.
It was 100%. It was exactly like... I was like, this is exactly like...
Intercut with like interviews of...
Yeah, talking heads and stuff.
I really liked it.
I loved it. I thought it was really good. It was really good fun. It was silly, really silly, but it was really well made.
And he basically found out that his dad was a complete bastard, and none of the stuff he thought about him was true.
Yeah, and everybody hated him.
And it was very self-deprecating of the guy.
Yeah, it really was.
I must say,
it's a strange one that I'd never heard of it. I don't know if you had,
No.
but I feel like people would enjoy it if they watched it, especially if you're a fan of like those, like Dark Place, for example, and other.
Who's going to ever go and find it and watch it? It's 32 minutes long or whatever, a
Yeah.
one-off.
Yeah, because
it's so niche, isn't
David
it?
Harbour's not even in the advertising for it. He's not in the poster. He's not in the
But he's in like
trailer.
all but about 5 minutes of
yeah,
it.
he's in it. He is it. He's in it all the way through. But he doesn't. His face isn't on it. So you're going to have to really look for it if you want to find it.
Be a David Harbour completist.
Yeah.
But it's part mockumentary, part Dark Place.
It wasn't what I was expecting at all. But I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting some sort of like almost half serious play.
Yeah.
But just on screen.
But it turns out it's him investigating his dad. When his dad put
made
on this play, and interviewing the players who were there at the time.
Yeah.
Plus actual footage.
Yeah.
Of the broadcast.
But David Harbour then plays his dad.
Yeah.
In it as well, and I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and it's heavily influenced by Dark Place, I would think.
It was a zippy 30 minutes.
It was. It flew by.
It was a lovely palate cleanser after the island. Sorry, I mentioned it again.
Bullshit island.
The one land, sorry.
What is the show called? We don't know.
We
don't care. We don't care. So yeah, that was Frankenstein's Monster Frankenstein. I really enjoyed it.
You want half an hour of entertainment?
Just watch it. It's
Yeah,
good
why
fun.
not?
Why not? So when season 6 starts, before season 6 starts, we'll pick our next rod extension.
Yeah, we might even drop it in the review episode between the seasons.
We probably will. That's when we'll pick the season 6, episode 1 as well.
Yeah.
So we'll probably do them both at the same time.
Cool.
Do it that way. Right. Have you watched anything good at the top of the stream?
I've watched quite a bit.
Okay.
But I've not finished anything.
Okay.
So I've already talked about the first 3 episodes of Squid Game.
Yeah.
So I won't go back to that.
Okay.
I've watched the first 2 episodes of Midnight Mass.
I have completed Midnight Mass.
Okay.
I don't want to give anything away to you because you haven't finished Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
But you are in for a fucking treat.
I've really enjoyed it.
I think it's head and shoulders above Hill House and Bly Manor.
I love so far how slow and ominous and foreboding it is. But it's completely hooked me in.
Yeah, it never loses that. It's even the last 2. I think episode 6 is a masterpiece in TV making. And as like I said, I don't want to give anything away. But even when it goes, it still goes at a slow pace.
Sure.
There's a scene in episode 6 where I was watching it and it was making me feel so uncomfortable that I was like, I might have to turn this off. It's creeping me out.
It was, well, yeah, even those first 2 episodes, I'm like, even when nothing's creepy is happening,
It's just really foreboding.
it's really creepy.
It's really creepy. There are some jump scares in it. There's bits of it that are pretty scary.
I had to cover my cat's eyes, though.
Yeah, you would want
She
to
was
cover
sitting
it.
on my lap.
Yeah,
I
don't
was
let
like,
them
don't look at this.
Don't look at the end of the first episode for definite. But no, 6 and 7 are unbelievably good.
Yeah.
There's loads of really good monologues in it.
Yes.
So Zach Clifford, is that his name? The main guy. He does, in the first couple of episodes, he does 2 really good monologues.
Yeah, so I think it's episode 2, him and the Padre have set up their own Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yes.
And they get into a whole debate about
And then that's where he does
God and...
Yeah, his monologue is in that scene. It's real.
It's excellent. I mean, I don't want to get too controversial here. I think the Catholic Church itself is really creepy.
Yeah, it is.
Like, I've always said this and thought it's very... I don't know, can I say it's a cult? It's, it's the chanting.
No,
it's
I
the...
don't think you
Do you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I
it's,
do.
It's to an outsider, it's odd.
Yeah.
And this really captures...
How weird and odd it is.
Yeah.
And how like culty it is, how people follow it blindly. It really does expose the church, and there's a lot of religious themes to this show. The whole thing's religious.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch the rest.
I was really upset when it finished.
Okay.
Because I was like, I could have done with 10 more episodes of that. Going back to the monologues, Raoul Coley plays the sheriff.
Oh, he's brilliant.
He's in
Bottom of the Stream alum.
Yeah, and he's also in the other 2 things that Mike Flanagan's Hill House and Bly Manor. He does a monologue in the end of episode 4 or 5, I think. That's really good. And then Katie Seagal does one almost right at the end in the last episode. And I'm pretty sure I want it reading at my funeral. It's that good. Her monologue blew my mind. It's brilliant. The whole show is brilliant. I'd recommend it to anybody. It gets a bit silly. By the time it gets silly, you're already fully on with it.
Sure.
And you know it's coming. So you kind of forgive it. And I personally think it's head and shoulders above Hill House. And it is better than Bly Manor as well for me. Mike Flanagan has successfully got me with this one.
Can I just quickly mention Rahul Kohli absolutely owned someone on Twitter this week?
Did he?
Because he got some abuse from a Twitter user who said, "I can't believe you are playing a Muslim on this show when you are a Hindu."
Right.
And he said, "Actually, I'm an atheist. So I'm more of a Hindon't."
Good on him. Actors should be allowed to play whatever they want to do.
should.
And if that's just the way it is.
He's great in it as
he's
well.
Brilliant
Those first couple of episodes.
He's brilliant in it. Honestly, stick with it. You will not.
Oh, right, yeah, we'll do. I just not had the time to do any more. So
I did it all in 3 days.
Yeah.
And I was saying at work today, I would watch it. I could watch it again now.
Yeah.
I could literally start it over again this weekend if I wanted. I don't, because I want to get onto Squid Game. And I want to finish Kevin Can Fuck Himself. Because I've really, really been enjoying that.
Good.
I've done 5 now, I think.
Excellent.
So I've got 3 left. But
I didn't know it was that limited.
Yeah, there's 8, I think.
Right.
But they're like 50-minute episodes.
Okay.
Because you expect it, because it's like sitcom based, to be a sitcom half-an-hour show, but it's not. It's like 45. So yeah, I massively recommend Midnight Mass, and I do also recommend Kevin Can Fuck Himself on Amazon Prime.
Good stuff.
Anything else?
No, I'm done, I think.
Cool. We'll come back to Midnight Mass when you finished it all.
Yeah.
Because I want to have a proper conversation about it.
We could even maybe try and do a little sneaky bonus episode.
Sneaky bonus. We haven't done a sneaky bonus for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Okay, stay tuned.
Cool. Maybe it'll be the first bonus of season 6.
Awesome.
Is that it?
I think that's
We
it.
finished waving.
Yeah, my arm does hurt a bit, so...
We've been going for 50-odd minutes. So what are we watching this week? We're watching Nobody Knows I'm Here. This is the season 5 season finale
Yeah.
of Bottom of the Stream. And it will be out on this very feed on Thursday morning.
One place left in the stream table. Let's find out
Where
where
it's
this is
going.
going to land.
Absolutely. And until then, we will see you very soon.
Cheers.
Bye.